Welcome back, part 2 Rugby AM, and I'm joined tonight by Lance Todd winner Richie Myler and the captain, the skips of Leeds Rhinos, Luke Gale. Gale, cheers for coming down, boys. Richie, we're going to start with you, mate, because I look on Instagram and I see you, Mrs. Helen. Obviously, everyone knows her. She's a great TV presenter, but she texts the kids everywhere, and she's a bit of a wildlife expert on the farm. And does she drag you to farms? Has she got you doing the kayaking? Because the kids are banging into it. How is it being married to a missus who's just so adventurous?
Exhausting. Absolutely exhausting.
I'm more famous than him.
Yeah, that was done a long time ago, that. No, I think, it's brilliant. I mean, anyone that's seen my two, I know they're absolutely mental. They are absolutely mental in the nicest possible way. So it's funny, I'll tell you one story about them. So gets the head teacher from Ernie's school, says, can I just have a word? I was like, he's in year 1. Like, what's gone on? Like, he can't have done anything too bad here. She says, we're just having a bit of a problem because they're having... the year 6s are organising wrestling matches with Ernie out front after school. I'm like, what? And I was like, what do you mean? I says, he's 5. She says, yeah, it's harmless, but it could escalate into something else. So the next day I picks him up, and they stood there, the year 6s were stood waiting for
a scrap with him.
and then no word of a lie, Ernie walks out going like this, come on, mate.
Wow.
And I was just like, what are we raising? What are we actually raising?
The complete opposite of him.
I would be like, Mum!
Talk to us a bit about coaches, because you've played under some great coaches in your career. So first question, who's the best coach you've played under? No pressure.
I think they're all in the nicest possible way, not being on the fence, but they're all different and they all have different strengths.
Well, give us some
strengths. I think what Rich has done for us as this group of blokes has been phenomenal. I think the way he's turned it around, he's been brilliant, and he's been a very straight and honest coach that's just told it how it is, especially to me personally. This is how it is. I mean, you can build off that. Steve McNamara was very technical, very, very technical, and got every fine little detail right. So he was another very good one. And like I said, and Tony Smith, I was with Tony Smith for 6 years, and he was just brilliant at being a people person and like really working on not so much rugby, but more just you as a person and getting the best out of you. So, no, that's me very much sitting on the fence. But yeah, no, I've been fortunate. I've had more clubs than Tiger Woods, so I've had a fair few coaches. I've seen a fair few coaches be fired off as well. So, but like Brian Mack was brilliant.
Yeah,
I loved working with Brian Mack. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he didn't mix his words, Brian Mack. He was straight down the line, so no, it was good.
By yourself, Gale, coaches. Who's your favourite?
I feel privileged. Obviously, we spoke about the journey. I started off John Bastian, first of all. We mentioned John Bastian off air. He was a Leeds Academy coach, and he gave me the grounding, the best grounding a young man could ever have. I had Ellery Hanley.
Yeah, wow.
He was outstanding. I went Brian Mack. He gave me Super League debut. Then obviously Powley's been possibly the biggest influence on my career. He dropped me a text Sunday morning, which I thought were real nice, and he's great, and I think he took me kind of to that next level. So I will always hold Powley in high regard. Wayne Bennett with England. His stories as well are great. Before a game, he can tell some stories, can't he? He's a character though as well, isn't he?
I didn't know what to expect when I first met him. I thought, God's honest truth, I'm not jumping in, but God's honest truth, when I played against that France game, he's never seen me play. I'm going to throw that out there, right? He's never ever seen me play. I don't mean that patronising wise, but what I mean is, he's obviously gone to Kev. We've got a few injuries here. We need an halfback. Rich will do the job. So I played his first game, and I love to push through. You know that? I love to push through the line and push. He goes, what are you doing? I goes, what? He goes, what's that? I says, well, that's part of my game. That's what I do. And he just went, don't do that. I was like, I've done that for 14 years, but I've got nothing else. Where do I go from there?
That is genius, Bennett, at his best. And you know what? It does not give a he'll say some stuff to you.
Oh, he was brilliant.
So he was great. And then obviously we're on his new journey with Rich now, and Rich has been fantastic as well. So, and Rich will back this up. The one thing that all coaches are is they're not wired up right, are they? They are not wired up right. And to be a head coach... That's how you'd be a brilliant one. Well, they're just intense, and they've all got a screw loose.
You're talking about people not being wide upright coaches. Well, one man who is right on that tip is Craig Bellamy. He has massive blow-ups, and he can get his team to the grand final, beating our boys at Canberra last week, but he can't change a tyre. Check this out.
What are you doing? Do you know what you're doing?
Oh, real. Yeah, I do know. I'm real heads up the door with.
Yes.
Craig Bellamy's struggling there now. He's not here tonight, but he's got a special feature as we follow Jamie Jones Buchanan, a day in the life of. Now, that could actually mean anything because he has got a full-on life. What is he like as a coach compared to a teammate?
I never got to play with Jones. It were always against him. But I think he's been great. And do you know what I love? He's a defensive coach and takes us on defensive drills. He just thinks outside of the box, and I love that part of him.
Yeah, I think it's obviously Jones has often been known for his energy and his passion and how much he throws himself into everything. And I think you can see how he's thrown himself into his coaching. He's inventive with the way he brings up some things. So early on in the year, he was showing us some videos of like people doing big Churchill speeches, and we're like, "What are we doing here, Joe?
Yeah,
what's this
some
on
of the
for?"
stuff it goes round the house, and you think that was genius.
But no, it's been brilliant, and it's great for him to get some silverware in his first year.
Well, boys, thank you so much for coming down to Rugby tonight, bringing the trophies, and yeah, just a huge congratulations to you both. I know it's both been a difficult journey, but well done, and hopefully you're going to kick on and get to grand final this year.
Let's do it.
Yeah, cheers.
To finish the show, let's go over now and see my partner in crime, Jamie Jones Buchanan, and find out what exactly goes into a day of the life of JJB.
Good morning. This is Jamie Jones Buchanan, and this is 5:30 a.m. in a day in the life of. Now 5:30 is ridiculous, and I don't usually get up that early. We only get up that early Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and that's because they're the days that me and my wife like to go out and run. We do between about 6 and 8 miles, and whilst I never ever thought that I'd become a runner or do anywhere near that much running post-career, I actually love it. I love it to bits, and it's part of our weekly routine. Keeps me healthy, it's helped me to lose a little bit of weight. I don't need to be 100 kilograms anymore. So my goal is to get down to 90, and I'm at 93 right now. But most importantly, the biggest reason why I do it, and the most gratifying part of it, is that I get to spend time with my wife. But before I go anywhere, first things first, I've got to get myself a cup of Yorkshire tea. Oh, it's a bit nippy, a bit dark as well, a bit dark. Going to get through about 6 miles hopefully, within around about an hour, so if not a bit quicker, but we just like to enjoy it, burn a few calories, all have a bit of fun, and get it down on Strava, mark the miles. Say hello to my lovely wife, here she is, jogging along, putting me through my paces. Hello. Bit shy. I was just thinking, later on today I'm doing an interview about mental health and well-being, certainly about exercise as a professional or ex-professional sportsman, and it made me think that I know when I haven't run, because I can feel it, I don't feel as good about my day, and a lot of the anxieties or problems, issues sometimes that you have get solved right here when you're running. Anxiety being a good thing, by the way. I think anxiety is massively misunderstood. I think it helps us get out of our comfort zone. But a lot of those problems are solved during exercise. So, great way to start the day. One of the things that gets me through those last few miles, no matter how long it is my breakfast. Now I've got some egg and bacon to have. Now a big part of the weight loss I reckon has been eating a little bit more meat, and that's not great because everybody's talking about carbon footprint and carbon neutral, and we've got to eat less meat. But I had a couple of friends who I went on a carnivore diet for a little bit and lost loads of weight, shed loads of weight. So I had it for breakfast, just bacon and eggs, meat and eggs, and then pretty normal sort of stuff during the day. But it gets me going, and I feel pretty good for so. Yummy. Youngest one's not happy, are you, mate? You ready for school? You ready for school? What you got today?
English.
Do you like English? What you got?
Science.
Science.
Oh, history.
History! Beautiful, beautiful. Sit. Yummy. Goggles, a little bit of bacon. Right, I've done my diet diary. I've done my COVID app. I think I've got everything I need. I've learnt my lessons about not filming while I'm driving, so we're ready to go. I'll see you when we get to training. Down here at Kirkstall training ground, first cab off the rank, as Richard Agart had said. Go see the man himself, go see the boss, and have a look at some of the video footage that him and James Bledsoe have put together. Now, the boys beat Wigan in the Challenge Cup semi-final at the weekend, which is massive because it means we're going back to Wembley. The club, the team, the city is represented again at Wembley, so really excited. And that video, hopefully, will show the boys how well they played and get them pumped up in their next 2 weeks preparation into the final and some really important league games coming up. So I'll go and have a look at some of that video, go through the COVID protocols as always, and then we're going to go out and I'm going to do a session with some of our younger boys. Obviously, we've got 30 odd players and not all of them are going to play every week, so they've got to keep ticking over, keep growing, developing, and getting excited about opportunities that might present themselves. As always, I'm excited about seeing lads. Best bit about being a coach, being on front line still with players. There'll be some boys who are in already. Might be at Just 8 music, pumping away, getting some early weights done. Morning, Jack.
Morning, Joe.
Bags just shields, mate, today. Right. Crash mats.
No problem, thank you.
Now, yeah, take one out, leave that one in. Yeah. We need to do it, we didn't need to we need to on that.
It's susceptible to muscle injuries, but we'll stay on top of that.
Can we play Thursday?
Yeah.
Can we play 80 minutes?
Just train. Yeah, he's got 3 weeks training in now, so I'll keep building him up.
So without giving away too many trade secrets there, that meeting was twofold. One, to have a look at our next opponents. Two, all the medical staff and all the football staff, the rugby staff come together to talk about individual players, how fit they are, where they are performance-wise, and if there's any considerations that we need to take for this coming week. I'm going to go outside now and do a session with some young blokes.
Hello, mate.
There it is, Brad Dwyer. How are you, mate?
Alright, mate. How are you? Like video?
What you got on there?
Just trying new kits off for Wembley, mate.
New Wembley kit, yes! Going back to Wembley! Woo! Go get all the young fellas outside now. I think we've got 16, so we'll put a bit of a session together. So, hey up, Jones there. Hiya, mate. Come on, boys, jog it up, then. Jog it up, Levi. Come on, mate.
Yeah, Carl. Outside, Carl.
Right, Levi. Practicing, Tommy, all right. That's why we're practicing, mate. Ooh, 1 minute up. Start off with a spin. Start off with a spin. Address the ball. Address the ball each time. And bang it on money. If you're receiving ball, about 4 or 5 minutes each. Every time we finish the game, after he's going to come down with me up, tackle pads for the rat's going to go do a bit of confidence. Well done, mate. Yeah, no shot, mate.
Go, come back. Yeah, I'm right. You go left, bro. Go left. Let's go, come on. Let's go, come on.
Nice, come on, boys. session with young fellas done. I love them young sessions with young blokes. It's like being a kid again. We have loads of fun. Got to go back up to HQ now, to Headingley, to do the review, the feel-good video, the trademarking video. That'll be led by Richie. Maybe do some extras with lads on laptop as well. Have a look at some extra skills. This is home, Headingley Emerald Stadium, or the Emerald Headingley Stadium. If you've not heard of the Spirit of the Rhino is who we are as a group, our accountability, our respect and our brotherhood. And that group over there on the left, that's our leadership group. And of course at the far end there, you've got all the players waiting for the review, which this week thankfully is going to be outstanding because we've just got ourselves back to Wembley with a great performance against Wigan. It's a great setup and obviously managed by Richie with a really good group of mature players who lead our team on a daily and weekly basis.
All right, first things first, just congratulations and a big well done to everybody. And I'm talking about the week we had. I thought our young guys that made the debut really covered themselves in glory, playing a tough Catalan team. We paid tribute to our senior guys, Bodine, Brett, Cuthbo, for the lead that they set with our younger fellas on there. So a really big well done to everyone. And what we've produced on Saturday, again, byproduct of your attitude, your preparation. I don't think we're in top 4 this morning, but we're still a chance of making both finals, boys, and winning both comps. So that's a big turnaround, and it's all down to you folks and the way you bought into everything we've done. So well done.
It's always tough when you've got a game in just a few days. A Thursday night game, for example, when you played a Challenge Cup semi on a Saturday. So today's session is just going to be a bit of a walkthrough. We're going to talk about Cass, who are our opposition this week. Not going to do too much that's physically exerting because the lads have got a massive schedule coming up, so we've got to space it out, make sure everybody's in peak physical condition. And at this stage of the season, it's just about keeping the maintenance, getting all the little things right, which is what we're obviously going to do today. So done the young blokes this morning, going to do a little bit with older guys now and get ready to take on Cass this week. And it's all really important as well. Those skills are really important. I know in short turnaround weeks like this week, going from a Saturday to a Thursday with a massive schedule coming up, it's always hard to get too much volume into it, boys. So we've got to keep them fresh, got to keep this group happy, especially got to keep them smiling. But they're very, very good, and all the hard work, the tough stuff they've been doing now for the last few months, so they're ready to just maintain and get themselves ready for a Challenge Cup final in a few weeks. Yes.
Come on, on the money, on the money.
I feel it there, mate, 2 days out.
You know what? I feel better at 30 than I did at 21. I feel brilliant.
It's because we look after you, isn't it?
Yeah. We get some spells like this.
Yeah, mate, 36.1. Cheers, pal. Back at Kirkstall. So we started at Kirkstall, went to Headingley, come back to Kirkstall, going to do some video with Cam Smith, some one-on-one stuff, and then we're going to get COVID tested as well, or other way around maybe. I swear, boys, might have some privilege here. Looks like I'm getting coach's privilege straight to the front of the queue. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Pat. Thank you. Me, am I on? Is that nice? Yeah, good. There it is. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we're back at Headingley, the Emerald Stadium. There's no yellow brick road. But the reason I'm back here is to do what I reckon I spend about a third of my time doing, and that's media bits, either filming or interviewing. And I've got to do an interview for a Christian organisation that has got a company called Fruit Media to come and do some work about health and well-being, and they're going to ask me some questions about my faith as a Christian and how that integrates into my well-being. I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like, if I'm honest with you, yet. We've not sort of worked through the questions. I've got a bit of an outline, but as always, people presume things quite often. When something makes sense to you, it doesn't always make sense to the people that you're trying to target. And I find myself having to navigate that, and that ain't normally an issue. The only issue is you always want to try your best, you always want to do things right, and if you're not quite sure, my arm's wobbling now, if you're not quite sure, it's hard to do your best. But listen, when life's as busy as it is, that's all we can ever do, so we'll give it a dig. We're back at Headingley, might get blown out this, bit bright, here it is, home away from home. I found them, they're in the far corner, that's at South Stand, and as always when you film at Headingley, two things always kill you off. One of them's aeroplanes going over the top, and the other thing is the lawnmowers. Of course you're always going to have lawnmowers at a stadium, aren't you, cutting grass. The guys are going mad at it, and even though they've got electric ones, I think now, they still make a load of noise, and you have to take a deep breath every 5 minutes because of aeroplanes. But look, a little bit of supplemental. I don't know what it is, I'm quite tired now, and I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of sleeping either. I always think I'm missing out on something, but actually I feel jet lagged. I don't know what that means because it's rare, but you probably can't hear me anyway. Can't hear me for making loads of noise. Some things in life you can't always control, but when it comes to media, I spend the majority of my time, you probably can't tell by the way from watching this video, I spend a lot of my time thinking about cameras and what they do, and try to use them as a tool to showcase some of the personalities within Rugby League, and I've been doing that for the last 6 or 7 years with Rugby AM. And behind these doors is our little studio that we built ourselves. We're going to go do the links for this week's show with Alex Simmons, and we're a couple of videographers down this time, so we've only got Andy. The rest of the guys are filming some VT stuff up on some mountains with Q as part of the feature. So this is our little studio ready to go. We've got Alex, the man himself, over in the corner. Alex Simmons ready to start filming, and Andy, who's flying solo today on the cameras and the kit.
Welcome to Rugby AM. Coming up on this week's show, we go behind the scenes as the Leeds Rhinos reveal their home shirt for 2021. It's the third and final part of our epic feature when JJB meets John Wilkin, and we take Rugby AM on a trek with former Rugby League stars Luke Ambler, Barry McDermott and Keith Senior as they do the Yorkshire Three Peaks twice in 24 hours for Rob Burrow. Join us this Wednesday only on Free Sports.
Now, I talked earlier about controlling the controllables, and this is one environment I've always been able to control, and it's actually helped me to look back and reflect on what's been a wonderful career in Rugby League. And everything that I am now as a 39-year-old ex-professional Rugby League player is a consequence of what the great game has given me. So to finish off, here's a video that we made a few weeks ago, just to say thanks, not just for me, but for anybody who's been on a similar journey to me. Check this out, and thanks for following me today. All the very best. Hope to see you at Headingley Emerald Stadium really soon. Take care. Dear Emma, on 12th of September 2019, I retired from a 20-year journey where Rugby League gave me, this working class kid from Bramley, the opportunity to live his boyhood dream. And you were there for all 421 games. You were my foundation in every minute of those 22 years. You were in every try, every tackle, every smile and every tear.
We met through two friends at school that were back in 1996, and he's never really been able to get rid of me since.
Emma's always been that pillar of support, that foundation, and sport, elite sport's really difficult because it demands sacrifice. But my family always understood. They knew what journey we were on and who it was for ultimately. That it was for them, it was for our family, it was for our legacy. The two of us became flesh, symbolic in our marriage, manifest 4 times in our 4 sons. You have been there through the emphatic wins, the painful losses and the career-threatening injuries. You have been a remedy to my greatest fears and the humility to my greatest achievements. You kept me sane when I got it wrong. You were the source of my joy
when I got it right. And yours was always the first opinion I wanted to hear when I needed advice. You shaped me and became the refining fire who, by God's grace, moulded me into the man, husband and father I am today. You and the boys have been the unconditional love, a shield of can't speak now. Can't say it. Yeah, that one. that gives me the courage to take on any challenge. You are my prize, glory and my honour. Thank you, Jamie.
I'm not entirely sure what the next chapter is going to look like, but I can say this for sure, that knowing that my wife and children are there at the side of me, right behind me, walking with me, there's no challenge that we can't overcome together.